with Urban Bass Slayers. We are out here in the bait room today, and I have a bunch of stuff that is for sale. And if you guys want to get your hands on this stuff, just send me a message and I will send some stuff out to you. I've been selling a bunch of this stuff recently, and I would like to get rid of the last little bit of some of the stuff that I have so I can get on to making some new stuff, get this stuff out of the way, get this product out to you guys, and you guys can go fish with some stuff that I've handmade. And that's kind of the goal here at Urban Bass Slayers. I've kind of shifted from buying a lot of stuff, and I want to make everything, or most of everything, if not modify everything that we use at Urban Bass Slayers to catch fish. It's just something fun to do. I've always done it ever since the first crankbait that I found on the ground. I brought it home and I took a couple rattle cans of Rust-Oleum and I painted up a crawdad crankbait. I know that thing's sitting around here somewhere. I'm looking for it, but I can't see it. I rearranged all this stuff. I'm redoing the whole bait room, reorganizing it all. I'm going to get some more pegboard, and I'm going to put more pegboard up around here. I'm going to paint some more little murals and stuff on it, some bass and trout and some other stuff that I have planned on painting. I think I'm going to get into painting some more canvases like I used to. I've been an artist since I was a little kid, and I think I'm going to do fish-based canvases similar to the Tesla one you see behind me, but it'll be like a big bass or a bass chasing a bluegill or something like that. I think I'm going to get into doing that. Anyways, some of the stuff that we have here for sale. Let me show you a couple of the things we have. We'll start off with the smalls, and I have a bunch of these smaller crawdads for sale, do-it molds. Just these little tiny craws. You can use these as trailers, you can use them as drop shots. I have a whole bunch of different colors of them, greens and black and blues. I can make any color of these things. What else do we have here? We'll move on to the next thing. We have these smoking shads. I got a bunch of packs of these, and there are two colors. Some of them have the eyes on them, some of them don't have the eyes on them. I'm rigging these up on the owner beast hooks, the little smaller owner beast hooks, and they wobble pretty good in the water. You can also use these on A-rigs as the dummies, and then have a bigger bait for like your main. They swim pretty good. We got a little bit of a kick to them. We also have some of the 7-inch curly tails that I've made, different colors, some of the green grass, a little bit of that watermelon green. Got a bunch of these for sale. I have tons of Senkos, man. I've had these ones forever. As you can tell, look at the old packaging that I hand did. Some purple Senkos. We always got the black multi-flake Senkos that are all recycled. The old recycled Senkos. These are like what I started out with. Of course, we have the bigger crawdads. Got a bunch of colors of this stuff. I'll just kind of run you guys over the top of all what we got here. Whole bunch of these different colors. Got some like purples and blues. Mainly greens and whites, like those. Crawdads, we got different greens, grass greens. Pile of those guys. I also used to make these, and I can make these also still. The little snakos, as I call them. Got a bunch of those snakos. Got a bunch of these Senkos. I can make any color of the Senkos. Got some crazy colors. When I first got my glitter, I went a little nuts with it. Got all these different colors, the light browns, darker browns, some greens with red tips, some greens, a big old pile of the black multicolors. I've been catching all my big fish on these baits right here. Recently, that's just what, I don't know, you get on a pattern, and that's what you stick with sometimes, so I've been catching a lot of them on that. And let's jump over to some other stuff. We have a couple spinner baits. I'm not that good at making these yet, but we have a couple of spinner baits for sale. And then I have a bunch of crankbaits, a couple of frogs, bigger frog, a couple of deep divers, Got one more of the Kongs. The wake bait. A couple of trout. I painted these up for somebody and they never bought them. Got one of the baby bass with the bluegill on the side. And I got one left of the crawberries. This is actually one of my favorite paint jobs. And then what else here? I got a bunch of blanks. If you guys want a custom paint job, I can do custom paint jobs on any blanks. Run back over here, and I have a bunch of baits that are handmade woodens, and these are all for sale also. With jitterbug lip on this guy. This guy has the metal tail. The 3-piece jitter. This guy runs like crazy. It's really cool looking in the water. The crazy weird looking bird frog thing. This thing runs really cool in the water. Got the chicken bone, chicken leg, whatever you want to call it, the kicking wing. This thing really runs good in the water too. Got the old broom handle baby bass. Got the crank down big eye. Got another broom handle. Kind of getting away from doing these because everybody's complaining that they look too much like a MS Slimer. So these are the only ones that I will probably ever make and sell of those. I mean, how many baits have you seen out there that look exactly the same? And you can't tell me that people haven't taken the old 70s ideas and remade them. I have pictures of baits that look just like the MS Slammer way before he ever made them. So I had some people complaining about it, so I'll just avoid the whole thing and just make my own stuff. And I'll show you that in a second here. Something like this. This guy is made out of balsa. The bottom doesn't look too good because I reweighted it. It's all got rubber fins. I'll sell this guy also. It's got a lot of hand carved detail on it. This guy swims pretty good now that I refixed it. And if I ever get really good in the bait thing here, these baits may be worth a lot of money in the future. I've seen it happen. Got the old rattlesnake here, 7-piece. That guy's for sale. All this stuff's for sale, man. It's all for sale. Now we're going to jump over here onto some of the stuff that I am also working on. As you guys know, I was doing the big eyes, the big ideas. I changed the lip on this one, and as you can see, it's got a double tie on it. I had the top one only, and I took it out and I ran it, and it wasn't wobbling the way I wanted. So of course I look on some of the really good like bait making things on Facebook, and everybody's saying the same thing about somebody else's build, and they said put the line tie down lower and it will make the head wobble more. So change that, and I will take it out and I will retest this guy, and hopefully it will work. In the process of making the big eye, I flipped over, if you can see, it's the same shape, but I flipped it. And I did that to see which one will run better in the water. Whether the one that's keeled on the bottom and rounded will run better, or the one with the flat bottom, will it run better? We will go out and we will see. Now, can't see these tails, but this is what I'm making. I'm going to do a video on how to make these tails. They're it's just an old, it's a paintbrush from the 99-cent store that I cut up, and I'll have to make a video on how I make these. It's kind of a process, but they look pretty good. I got really good at making them. Super duper thin, and they're super strong. Each one of these baits here that are hand carved, they each have one of these tails on them. And this is the bait I took out and tested. I'm about to paint it. This is one that I made that's just like it, that I'm making for Devin. And I'm going to paint this one in a trout pattern, and this one in a trout pattern, and this guy too. I'm making this guy. Did a little base on it, went back and sanded some of the rough stuff. When you throw that base on there, it shows you where all the spots are that you need to get. So I'll probably hit that with white again. Might give it another sand before I throw trout paint jobs on all of these. And then we'll move over to the big dog and the mini dogs. So I made something similar to what I guess you would say like a lunker punk, or yeah, lunker punker type bait. And it's just a big walking topwater. Getting a little bit of carving some detail on here. The more I carve these, the quicker I'm getting at carving them. So it's getting pretty fun. I don't know, these guys are pretty cool. I made this guy today. Well, I'm in the process of making this guy today. My dog out there. She's probably looking for where I'm at. Then we got the big dog here. I started carving on that last night just to see what I would do with the gill plate. I wanted to do the gill plate a little bit different on this guy. And when it's done, it should look pretty good. This is going to be a gigantic, big old glide bait. And hopefully it works out the way I want it to. That'll be fun. And this guy, oh, I forgot to mention, the dog got me off track there. This is going to be a bluegill one. And this tail is actually for this bluegill right here. You can imagine. Kind of looks a little big there, but I mean, once it's, you know, get what I'm saying there. And then on this big dog, you know, I might make the tail slightly bigger, or maybe even just the same. It's going to be one heck of a big bait. It is definitely trout bait time. California, they are out there planting. They're out there planting the trout in a lot of the local spots. And if you can find the spots that they do plant trout in, you can go out and throw your trout baits. This one's not for sale. This is one I found out at a fishing spot, and I repainted it. I just wanted to show you the paint job on that guy. And that is the paint job basically that these guys are going to get, if you can imagine. So anyways, these glides are going to be for sale. In the future, I'm going to keep making these three right here, and these baits. Well, actually, all these ones right here are testers and their personal use for right now. I'm hoping to get these to the point to where I can make a bunch of these and get them out to you guys. That way you can fish these glide baits. And yeah, got a lot of stuff for sale here. If you guys want to help us out and buy a couple of things off of us, I can buy some more stuff for the bait room that I've been wanting to get really bad, and we can take this to the next level. And I think here at the end of the year, I don't know, man, I want to get together a big fishing thing with everybody, man. It's gonna be next year sometime when everything goes back to normal. Anyways, if you guys want to buy any of the crankbaits, soft plastics, if you want a custom paint job, you want some Senkos, spinner baits, big crawdads. I also got a mold to make these guys, the Mighty Bugs. Those are kind of difficult to make, but I can make them. And anyways, I'm just out here going over all my stuff, getting it dialed in, trying to get all this stuff situated in my bait room too. We get more things out here so we can make more stuff and get people out off of the couch and get them fishing. Got to get out. Got to get your mind right. It's the whole point of Urban Basslers. The whole thing is it's all about fishing therapy and helping each other become better anglers. I basically, the way we were joking about it the other day, it's like we're a guide service for pond fishermen, or shore fishermen, excuse me. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching. Urban Basslers, starting to mow alone. as normal. And just remember one thing,